If you are watching this video, you're probably interested in starting one of our discipleship groups or kind of curious about it. I'm not going to go into all the details, but you will have the form that I have made that you can read through. It's only 3 pages, and I think you'll be able to start a discipleship group, get one off the ground, and get going with what I'm sending you. The big thing about them is not to overcomplicate them. But before I kind of get into the details there, I'll just share with you a few stories or a few reasons why I think discipleship groups can be really impactful and really helpful, and I think people in our church are looking for them. One was in my own group. What I was discovering, talking with our group. Our group is a growth group. I don't know. It may have 15 people in it or so, adults at a time. It just depends. They fluctuate each and every week who shows up. But we were talking about trying to go deeper, and what it looked like to hold one another accountable and discuss our struggles and all of those sorts of things. But as we looked around the room, it's full of people who are friends, and we've all become pretty good friends, which was really great. But there are men and women in the room, and then also kind of the kids are running around and in the other room. And basically, what was implied is that I, as a guy or I, as a female, can't share some of the things that I want to share or talk about some of the things that I want to talk about in this larger mixed group with kind of the kids running around, and that they wanted to be able to have an environment where they could confess their sins to one another, share about some struggles that probably is not appropriate to share with a larger group and mixed sexes. And so D groups help fix that. The second story, or I guess scenario that I wanted to share with you, is my wife and the women's ministry have been asking, what can we do to help pair ladies up with other ladies, or what can we do as a women's ministry to go deeper, to pair people up, to study the word together, to pray with one another together, to learn from one another together, to kind of hear about each other's lives, all of those sorts of things. Like, what can we do and what kind of curriculum is out there? And I think our D groups and what I'm asking people to do in D group can solve that problem without complicating it. So much Christian curriculum or discipleship curriculum can be pretty heavy or just difficult to kind of wade through or wander through. And our discipleship groups are set up to where everything is really simple, right? If you can read your Bible, if you can journal just a little bit, if you can do your best to pray, and if you can just contemplate some questions and repeat that week after week after week, you can lead a discipleship group, and people can be a part of a discipleship group. And so that's why I think they are needed. So kind of what is a discipleship group? A discipleship group is a small group, and when I talk about small group, it's a small group. It's 5 to basically 2 people that are getting together for the purpose of discipleship and basically praying for the lost. And so what I mean by discipleship is you are going to be reading the Bible with each other. You're going to pick a Bible plan that you're going to stick to. You're going to read it throughout the week, and then you're going to go through what am I calling it? The guide to daily time with God. You'll be able to walk through that each and every day on your own. You'll pick one day a week to meet with one another. During that time, you meet with one another. I have put together what we are calling just the discipleship group agenda. And this agenda is super simple. You'll do it every week, same thing every week. And yet I believe that it will take people deeper, and that people will find it very helpful in their walk with God, and also help them reach some of the evangelistic goals that they had in their life. And as a church, help us to do our best to make sure we are truly trying to reach one, for each one to reach one. I'm not going to go into all the details of the daily time with God and the discipleship group agenda. You can read through that, and I feel like it's pretty simple. A few things here that I just want to say before I kind of jump off of here is that what I have discovered in this moment as we are going through this time of coronavirus or whatever, that we're not able to be together, be in large groups, I think this will be really effective for people who aren't wanting to meet with a large group over video. I think they might be willing to meet with a smaller group over video, and or depending on your risk level and what you're willing to do, having 5 or less people, you can probably social distance and do these studies together, even in the same place if you're careful. So there's an opportunity right now to start a discipleship group where your growth group might not be able to meet, and so there's that opportunity there. One of the goals of this group is to kind of start a D group movement where after a year or so of meeting with people, if you are a leader and you're helping people read their Bible, you're helping keep one another accountable, you are going to be encouraging them to start their own groups so that people can learn how to go deep with the Lord, so people can learn how to read their Bibles and how to grow together. What we're asking people to do here in these D groups, super simple, but it's not easy. But I think people will experience real spiritual growth through this time together. And it's our job as the church and as leaders to create other leaders and to create disciples who make disciples. And so your goal will be as a leader, within 12 to 18 months, to equip the people in your group to go and choose other people so that they can start their own group. And so, I think you can do that because what I'm asking people to do in the D groups it's not overcomplicated. It's not a crazy curriculum that you have to memorize or anything like that. Super simple. Read your Bible. Write down something the Lord said to you or that stuck out to you in your Bible, in your journal. Meet once a week, bi-weekly at the least amount, I don't know, once a week or bi-weekly, prefer once a week. Go over it, repeat. Super simple. Pray for the lost. Really simple. If you have any questions about this and want to start a discipleship group, please call me, email me, whatever you need to do to get a hold of me. The big thing is, I think if the Lord is leading you to start a discipleship group, that you start doing it and don't put it off. Start now. Pick in your mind your 4 to 1 person. I encourage you to try to do 3 or 4 or 2 to 4 instead of just kind of one-on-one because you can just reach more people that way. But pick 4 to 2 people, one person even, one is better than none, that you believe is basically what I would call good soil. People who want to be discipled, who want to grow, who want to be challenged. This is, like I said, this is a very simple process, but it will not be easy. And so I want to just encourage you all to be praying about that, be thinking about that. And if the Lord has laid anyone on your heart that you know needs to be discipled and wants to be discipled, don't miss this opportunity to start this. Read through what I've given you and attached to, I don't know, this article or however I've done it and sent this out to you. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.